I will start from the beginning. There was nothing in my life but an overbearing cliff with one way down, down into the darkness. I waited on that cliff alone for such a long time. I cried every time I thought about my friends, my family, and my home. Until one day, in the distance, I see something, a white tree, so beautiful it takes my breath away. There's only one problem, however. The tree is so far away from me. Here I was, up upon the cliff, just a normal pony, doing nothing special, a part of being afraid. I could not climb down from the cliff. Maybe I could try to find something to make a ladder with. No, nothing usable. Still I sit and cry, yet still hoping out of all things there was something I could do. There was something that would come to me and help me. I did not think of jumping. I was still too afraid. If I did, I was going to die. I could not fly. I could not try. I thought to myself that maybe I could. I can't. I will not. There's only darkness down there. Why? I walk around on the cliff, and even it was safe up here, nothing could compare to the tree in the distance, just standing there, almost glowing. One day, as I lay on the edge of the cliff, I hear a voice in my ear. Jump. I looked down, suddenly feeling like I was looking into the abyss once more. I look up immediately and walk back from the edge and yell to the voice, No, I will not. Waiting some days more, the voice again came to me, over and over. At last time, it was calling my name too. Daylover, jump. As I walk to the cliff's edge, I think back to my family and friends. Maybe it was one of them calling me. But instead I see something in the darkness, a glimmer of green light. I knew I could only obey. I needed to, if there were ever an escape from this. So finally, I just ran and jumped off the edge. I did not think I would fall. I did not think it would be for this long. As I fell, I cried all the way down. I had lost my friends, but my family was always there. In my heart, I knew. It was the only way. That was the only one that could stop me from myself falling. But still I was paralyzed with fear. I look up to the edge of the cliff, where I have been, a whirlwind of emotion rushing through my mind. Every moment of love and pain, happiness and sadness, madness and loneliness, just all of the feelings were coming to me. Seeing the ground below me, the end was near, I knew. I was going to hit it. There was no way out. I did not have wings. I did not have magic. I did not have anything at all. I just wanted to survive. But I knew it was not going to be like that. After that, I don't remember anything, except for waking up. I knew I was laying on the ground. I could not feel anything. Breathing slowly, I just have no recollection of it. The voices returned to me again. Daylover, it's not your time yet. I may have wanted to move, to try and look up, to see what was talking to me. Almost certain. I just feel a cold breeze and falling snow covering me. I love snow. I love winter. I know I was trapped, but I did not mind. I was just laying there, trying to listen after the voice, trying to get the strength to stand up. As I was laying there, one day I feel a warmth gently upon me, a light. Another pony was coming closer. I tried to stand. I was able to move my leg, but I could not stand, and all of the sudden I felt afraid for some reason, and I cried out, "I'm not ready, leave me alone." The other pony was now standing right over me. I see her colors in her eyes. A alicorn, a white one. I did not know her. The pink eyes looking down on me, and the voice, now clear as day. "Daylover, why are you here if you are not ready?" The voice filled me with peace, and I was not afraid no more. The motherly voice was enough to me to lay completely still and just answer, "I don't know." I wanted to go to the tree. I was almost going to fall to sleep. I feel the pony put a hoof on my forehead and sing something I couldn't hear, almost some sort of lullaby. The sweet melody made me drift off to a sleep. A nice dream came to me. When I awoke from my dream, I suddenly felt like I had the strength to stand. So I tried to stand up, and after a couple of tries, I could stand perfectly. I felt different somehow, and tried to walk a little. I felt light, and there was, and right in front of me, food. I started to eat and drink. When I was done, I sat down and looked around. I was in a big field of some sort, with flowers and grass, as far and wide as the eyes could see. I jumped up and started to play in the grass. I never felt so happy, just to be alive. As I play, I suddenly looked at my hooves and remembered, I was not green before. What is this color? I felt my mane, and the brown-red mane was floating in front of my eyes. I take it aside and look on myself. I love my new colors. Green, lime green, almost fresh green, like glowing in the dark. I was sitting. Slowly I started to cry. It was my favorite color, and the mane was still the same color as always. I felt really happy, and I started to feel almost complete. I stayed in the fields all day playing. As the day was ending, I found a small house where I could sleep. In the house there was a mirror. I looked upon myself. Whoa, I now have a horn. Am I a unicorn now? I thought the horn was something only, I don't know. I feel my horn just to be sure it was real. Whoa, I always wanted to be more. As I lay down to sleep, the night felt long. As I wake in the morning, I felt relaxed. I wanted to travel to the tree, so I started on it, packing up a bag with food. I could make it to the tree. In the house there was all things that I needed before I took my trip. Wherever I wanted to walk off to, there was enough provisions to do so. Days came and went, and I felt like I was walking forever. In my travels I find forgiveness in my friends, and I had my family and love. So I walked on more. I wanted to know more. I wanted to see more. As I walked, I came to a big wall. The wall was thick, made of glass. Pattern of colors were shining. So I could look through, but they could not look through from the other side. The colors were made of rainbows. I walked around the wall, but I seemed to be missing something. One day I stopped in front of it and tried to look through it. Sure enough, on the other side, there was a lot of ponies walking, having fun, being together. I felt so alone. I wanted to be there with them, share happiness, be friends, have their world. But I see them, and they don't see me. They couldn't hear me. I was trying to scream my lungs out. I feel nothing. So I walked off again. As I got to the end of the glass wall, I see something I have only heard from. I gulped and slowly walked out from my hiding, holding my head down. The big grey dragon with yellow eyes were staring at me, and the voice again talking to me, now just a little bit softer. I am Carve. Who are you, and why did you hide from me? I came completely out of the hiding and tried to explain all of the things that I have been going through to get there. I say all of the things of my travels, where I was going, why I was the way I was, or at least all of the things I could remember. The dragon in turn told me he knew he was there, 'cause he was trying to learn to fly, but his right wing was broken and his left wing was needing skin. He always had trouble with flying, and now he was banished from the dragons until he could fly. As the days go on, we become friends. He told me about the dragons, stories about himself, and all that he knew was happening into this world. He told me about the alicorn I was meeting as I was laying in the snow. Celestia was her name, one of the princesses of Equestria, the land beyond the glass wall. I felt more determined now than ever. I wanted to go to the Tree of Harmony. Agent Carve had also talked with me about that. I felt it was the right thing to do, and Carve followed me on my travels. I was getting a little bit better at magic, and I was trying to make sure I did practice every day. I found something to practice on my way, and Carve was still trying to fly sometimes, run and set off, and he told me not to worry, but I could not help it. He could not fly, even though he tried. Days passed, and we stopped on the way before a forest. It was big and there was a lot of thorns, so Carve could not go with me. One day we waited, but we agreed upon that Carve should stay in the end of the forest, stay and look around until I returned. He will still try to fly, so with a heavy heart I started the journey alone into the forest. Many months followed. I think almost 5 years passed until I could see the road to the tree. Long and cold it looked, but at least now I could see my goal. But on the halfway of the road A dark shadow appeared in front of me, making the road cross in two roads, one leading to the forest, back to my home, the cliff. I was not afraid, and the other one leading to the tree of harmony. I knew which way I was going, so I just walked past the shadow onto the road to the tree. But the shadow warned me. If you go that way, you will suffer even more. As I passed the shadow, I just say to him, I know, I want it, I need it. As I walked, the shadow appeared in front of me again. This time I yelled at it, What do you want from me? The shadow all of a sudden breaks apart, and inside a shimmer of light are broken free in front of me. I had to close my eyes if I ever wanted to see again. A beautiful white stallion with long white mane and tail was now standing before me, looking at me and say, I am the one you need to pass to get to the tree. I am the guardian, the only one from now to forever. As I looked into his white eyes, I know I could just not walk past him this time, so I sat down, starting asking him questions, and he answered them all. I figured out quickly he was supposed to answer all of my questions, but there was one he didn't want to answer. What is your name? The white stallion looked at me and answered, I have many names, not just one. Ponies scream my name in pain, whisper it in prayers, say that when the end is near, but no pony ever called me a normal name. I look at the stallion. Well, the name White doesn't seem like a good name. You probably already have heard that before. Let's see what to call you. All ponies need a name. What about Light? That doesn't seem right either. Thinking a little bit about it, I all of a sudden say, Hatarius. Yes, that is it. That is your name. Now we can get to know each other a little bit more and become friends. The white stallion just stand and look at me and then say, There's a reason I don't have a name. You know, most ponies fear me and don't want me to come at all. I look at the stallion and say, I admit I also am afraid of you, but I also respect you. You have been here alone for such a long time, without any friends at this place. Why not try to get along with some pony? I want to be your friend. I bet that other ponies will see you. I know not all ponies can. As I say these words, the white stallion starts to walk past me and say, Haltalius, the last breath. I like it. I promise I'll be back, you know. I don't even look at him. I just stand up and start walking towards the tree again and whisper, I know. As I approach the tree, I put a hoof on the stem of it. I feel the bark and I look up into the crown of the tree. There was 5 glowing lights, a green, a yellow, purple, pink, and a sky blue one. I look on the base of the tree and see a sun and moon engraving on the base, and I feel the love coming from the tree. As I lay down, my journey was ending. I finally found what I wanted, but as I lay there, I still feel empty. Nothing, a silence. I started to cry, asking the tree the same things that I asked the guardian. Why? Who? What do I do now? I know your name. I know my way. I know what I'm supposed to do. But what is going to happen now? As the days become night, I have a dream about a blue pony appearing to me and say, "What are you doing here? It's way too early for you to have come here." I try to stand up and answer all of the questions, but the pony just comes towards me. I could see it was Alicorn, but it was not Celestia. The blue colors and the dark tone of her voice was something completely different. I became afraid and cried. I wanted to be more. I wanted more for myself. I'm sorry. Please let me go back. As I say the words, I feel a cold shimmer coming up through my spine. I wake up and with no questions asking, I just started to run. I wanted to run away from her. I was in a panic. I have never seen something like that before. The White Stallion, Hatarius was one thing, but this was not the way I wanted it to be. I ran to the forest, and I ran through it as fast as I could, only having to stop if I was really tired, and after a long time I see the forest ending, and at the end Carv was laying there. I yell off the top of my lungs, "Carv, help!" I see him at the edge of the forest. He hears me. He tried to rip the forest with his claws, but no luck. I look back. She was still there. "Oh no, please, no." I try to run, but get trapped in the forest. I yell to Carv, "Carv, fire, now!" Carv looked at me concerned, but I repeat the words, "Fire!" Carv takes a step back, and then a fire bursts through the forest and lay upon a strike to me and the forest, all burning. The blue pony was not following me no more, as I feel the fire onto my back as I run. Carv, all of the sudden, when he was breathing his fire, made my magic burst onto him. Carv, still breathing fire and could not stop, my magic onto him. His wings begin to heal. As I run into the field, I collapse, and Carv comes to take me up. And now he could fly. He flies away. He knew of a rainbow lake. It was the only way. It was the only way to save me, if I were to survive. With no hesitation, he flew. He knew where the lake was, but he had forgotten that the lake was frozen in time of the years, and he tried to melt it. As I was laying on the lake of ice, the ice began to melt and crack. I do remember my back hurting, but nothing like this before or since. I tried to relax, but then the cold water randomly came upon my back. As I used my magic again, I now know my magic, it could heal. I can. I will. I must. As the rainbow foam onto my back, I feel a sharp pain onto my back, as it felt almost like glass coming into my side. I scream in pain. Carv was just looking beyond the lake and couldn't do anything but wait. The lake was not a place for dragons. I remember him telling me about the rainbow lake. As I think this was all, I suddenly could feel myself standing, my magic helping me, and the rainbow almost crawling onto my back, like drops falling the wrong way. I feel fine and walk out of the lake. The only thing was, it was so deep it came to my neck. As I walked up from the lake, Carv was looking at me. He have never seen me like this before, and I suddenly stopped and looked at him and laughed. Jokingly say, "What? Do I have wings now?" Carv doesn't answer but just nods. I suddenly feel them, the wings of rainbow. What is this? How can this be? I was confused but happy. I looked at Carv. "You know what this means, don't you, Carv?" Carv looked at me and just get ready for flying. As I set a hoof on his back, the rainbow becomes armor on Carv. I feel it. He could fly. He sets off. The feeling was indescribable. As we fly, the glass wall just disappears from the town. Carv sets me off and flies on to his own journey. It was now going back to the dragons, and I had enough to go through the glass wall. As we say, I gave you a gift, Carv, a gift of rainbow armor. So if he ever gets in trouble, he can use the rainbow as his wings. Carv have given me a hard necklace with a silver heart. I wear this every day. I sit in front of the not wall no more. The other ponies all of the sudden notice me, and the wall go up again. I feel home. The end.